You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts.
All right, Black and White Sports supporters. Well, this is about to get very interesting indeed. And there's a lot of fan response coming in. We're going to look at that. The WNBA has come out and they have ruled internally, sounds kind of graphic, that Enes Kanter, Freedom, and Royce White are not eligible to play in the WNBA. Somewhat similar to what Kathy Engelbert came out and said the other day about this whole thing being some kind of a publicity stunt, etc. And one thing is pretty clear. Enes Kanter, Freedom, and Royce White are trying to prove a point. And they are also trying to get the WNBA to have to declare what an actual woman is. In other words, actually define it. And unfortunately for the WNBA, I have a feeling this is going to get litigated. Both of these players have brought up the fact that they will be legal action if they're not allowed to enter the WNBA draft. And obviously, things will be very loud and very public the whole way. Enes Kanter, Freedom, Royce White are not eligible to play in the WNBA, league sources tell Front Office Sports. In recent weeks, Freedom and White, former NBA players, both declared their intention to enter the 2027 WNBA draft, claiming they identify as a woman. A league source called the recent declarations of two men, quote, simply a publicity stunt, and said that the league is, quote, not going to give oxygen to efforts designed to mock the league or use this topic to demean or marginalize others. League sources also say the WNBA does not have any legitimate or immediate eligibility matters that require action. Well, I have a feeling that they are wrong. The league will continue to discuss the topic, but, quote, will not allow outside pressure or manufactured controversy to dictate league processes. You won't have to worry about that. Lawyers will do that. Not outside pressure, not outside controversy. Lawyers will do that for the WNBA. How about that pressure? The WNBA eligibility rules are collectively bargained. The league's new CBA agreement has one line regarding gender eligibility. Quote, only players who are women are eligible to play in the WNBA. The CBA does not include any language around gender identity or gender assigned at birth. So, a lot of people are reacting. League sources say the WNBA refused to change any definitions of a woman, but will make sure they can't play. Cowards and clowns. This is transphobic. My issue is simple. What is giving the league the right to determine whether or not them coming out as women, identifying as women, is they're making their own determination as to how legitimate or serious that is? Because I didn't think you were supposed to do that. I didn't think you were supposed to even question it. That's my understanding, right? Not supposed to lend judgment to that. And they're getting destroyed. Cooked. Trans women are women. Don't allow Enes Kanter, Freedom in the WNBA. WNBA Commissioner Kathy Engelbert. Yeah, Planet of Memes is right. Enes Kanter and Royce White said they will sue for the right to play unless the WNBA defines what a woman is. Banning two players without a clear policy is a place of discrimination. That is correct. WNBA's new sponsor, Mounds and Almond Joys. Sometimes you feel like a nut. Sometimes you don't. Enes Kanter, Freedom, and Royce White are 6'10 and 6'8. Ex-NBA male athletes doing a political stunt, calling the WNBA cowards for protecting integrity of women's league is completely wild. The WNBA are cowards on this. If they don't draft them, they will both sue and likely win. Take them to court. The WNBA and woke courts will be forced to face their hypocrisy head on and create a precedent. Take them to court. Let's see how the left-wing WNBA defends discriminatory policy. I hope they sue the WNBA for discrimination. The NBA should remove its connection with the WNBA until they define what a woman is and return to common sense. Interesting. Pull the purse strings. Oh, the purse strings? You're allowed to say that? Are you allowed to say it? Inquiring minds want to know. I have a feeling this is going to get litigated. What a clown show. Absolute ridiculousness. The WNBA is full of bigots who still have yet to define what a woman really is. Sue them and prove to the country that there are not currently XY people currently playing in the league through discovery. My guess is they will settle before discovery. That's the other thing that many people are talking about. As to why the WNBA does not want to make this ruling, it's because you've got men in the league now with XY chromosomes that can't pass a gender test currently, and the WNBA does not want to be exposed through discovery. This is very much something that, oh man. People believe this is why the WNBA is not wanting to do this. Is not wanting to declare. They're going to try to put this off as long as possible. What are they going to do? Get with these players and tell them to leave the league? They can't go to Project B. Project B said, nah, we're not even playing with this. We're going by the IOC and FIBA's rules. No biological men in our league, period. Sue to have them verify the sex of each player in the WNBA. Boy, it is wild. This is a joke, right? They most certainly did not define a woman, simply ruled them ineligible. Yeah, right, wrong, or indifferent. This is discrimination. And it's wild that now the league is making a point to try to determine how serious it is or if it is a stunt. So I guess I can just come out and say Dylan Mulvaney's a stunt. That's perfectly acceptable, right? I mean, he is, but you get my point. I'm not trying to run a league. So if Dylan Mulvaney came out and said, I'm declaring for the you get my point. Are they going to make the same eligibility statement, denouncement? Because my gut feeling is, hell no, they wouldn't. In fact, you would see players probably advocating for the former Bud Light sponsor. Ruh-roh, Raggy. Kathy Engelbert's got a problem. Again, both of these players previously said they will see their asses in court if they try to prevent this. And how public is that going to get? Woo! Discovery, gonna be something else. Tell me what you think. You certainly gonna be discovering something. Woo, woo, woo. No. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.